Just a short video here. Hide my really attractive pillow. Shut my closet door. Short video about an alert that when, Jupiter moves away from my moon, it's going to start trining my Venus as well as Uranus will. And that changes the ball game as far as if we think that anything is permanent. By the way, Uranus proves that nothing is permanent, but I didn't just say that it's not all of a sudden going to appear as um, like enchanting, alluring. Uranus, boy, and Jupiter is like it's boy, very attractive in the Earth signs, the Earth signs. See, this is my last chance. Really, I've kind of been being hijacked, and the truth is this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Uh, I could meet somebody who can get me a job, and I won't have to lose this place. I will. My whole mind will change. I mean, even though I do not like the idea of inhaling all of this asphalt. I mean, there's a number of exacerbated health conditions, I guess you could say, that I notice it, and I've been doing really good with eating food, and I'm on top of it, but it seems like that thing that happened with the asphalt went against all of my efforts because was pulling up out of other problems, and we're all managing stuff like that. By the time we get 50 or 60 or 70, it's bound to happen. We're not paying attention, man. I mean, just the real thing is the gaslighting society. The fact that sometimes you think when you try and work something out farther than just numbing out, you realize you're being gaslit or somebody is completely zonked out or the whole thing is zonked. That is enough to get on your nerves after a while. Come on, that's why they say, well, don't worry. We have liquor stores. So you can go to liquor store and forget, temporarily forget or numb yourself out of just who's going to solve that problem? Hell no, not them. And so the best thing, who's going to talk about it? They're not going to talk about it. Might as well raise a can up to your lips and replace that for the work that needs to be done. But anyway, that's the brunt of, I was going to say, white man society, pardon me. This is just a short video saying hello, how are you? We are moving forward into new territory with Neptune and not so much Jupiter and Uranus, but if we are talking about the epic conjunction, then yeah, that's something that is going to get more accurate than ever, even though it got really close last year, and I really ran into a great windfall, but it's not the answer. See, where's Venus? We need love, and well, it's trining my Venus, and the thing is it's coming through love in my life, and because it's hitting my Venus, and it's interesting how that works, right? And um, So that's one way, to gauge if you're on the right path or not. I mean, I don't know about you, but my mom, her God is love, the same stuff that Jesus was talking about. That's how I learned about it. Mainly, it wasn't even, but really, she didn't. Wasn't the stories that I learned how I learned. It was just her being, and then she would talk about it, and oh, that's what I know. You must be talking about the whole thing. I mean, really, it was much. Now that I think about it, I remember when she was tucking me bit into bed at night and trying to tell her how I was astral traveling. I was astral traveling when I was a little girl. Not that that's a good thing, not that that's a bad thing. I've heard both, and I'm just letting you know I'm still here doing weird stuff like that more than ever, I guess, and it's important that we figure out what's happening with that. I would love to not be so fragmented. Having said that, I would like to talk about the language. They talk about sustain, self-sustain. A- And sustain in music means to prolong, like without a break, unfragmented sound, right? Unfragmented sound. And so self-sustain would be an unfragmented self. Be an unfragmented self. Anyway, good luck. I'm experiencing the non-purposing society, which is definitely there to chop your fucking whole life up, man. You don't have no purpose. You know what I mean? Especially if they don't see that you're using their digital currency, and stuff like that, maybe. And no, it's deeper than that. They are targeting whatever can easily threaten and reprogram in accordance to, I love that word, accordance. I mean, it's not all you have to say, but really it's like, well, it's in accordance to the truth, ley lines of truth, harmonizing with celebration. And that's a threat to, like, well, as far as I'm concerned, my neighborhood didn't like um, being called out about maybe they're being lazy. Ultimately, that's what it is. See, it takes a little bit more work to be loving and build a civilization from there, which is non-toxic and just thriving with all kinds of really is ideals, really things that will pan out to be amazing. It's just magical. I know because I kind of work with it and I'm trying to sustain that. We're trying to be self-sustaining. Really, what is that? I would dare put a capital S on it, and we can go back to the government and say, "Is this what you meant?" Because I think that there's a movement to take us away from that, even though it's labeled as that. Especially climate change. Everybody knows that it's been a people change all along. All right, well, I'm gonna hang this up now. This is the second video I've made with this shirt on, and I will post it March 28th. I'm just talking now, with Mars having gone into Pisces, let alone the epic Venus conjunct Neptune at the beginning of April here in a few days, April 4th. Give it a 3-day orb on and off. And same with Mars is now in Pisces. Unfortunately, we're not out of the dreamy state. I mean, watch out for men right now drinking alcohol. I mean, watch out for the Mars and Pisces are the ones that I've ever known. They're very sensual to the point of fault. They are very active with their compassion. If you can imagine putting a Mars, like Mars is now visiting church, or more like the petting zoo or something, like whatever. Pisces is like more like this movement for peace. And now we have Mars there. It's kind of masked. They have a passion for peace, baby. They are kind of over indulgent right there. I must say, is like, God, you do drink a lot. And what is that you just did on top of it? Venus and Pisces, they are idealistic. I imagine Mars probably has that trouble too. See, Mars is going to be conjuncting Neptune too. Venus will be conjuncting Neptune on the 4th of April, and I like my professional setup, babes. Uh, Mars will be conjuncting Neptune at the end of April, and we just don't see any break in between these times where the truth is it's a dreamy time still. It's almost like because Pisces is the later. It's March, right? We just got through Pisces, but Venus and Mars says we're going to linger in Pisces more, and it figures that we would have water events that are cold. We'll have winter. Time is still here. We're still dreaming, especially men and women, apparently, in Pisces here, doing a jig. There's a lot of Pisces if you want to look at it. There's four planets in Pisces. So, but on the 1st of April, I mentioned it before, we have Mercury retrograde. And that's a big giant. Be careful of, well, don't, you're going to have to it's a good time to redo things and go over things. You have to research, everything. Research, redo, renew. Yeah, renew does go along with it, like say even like relocate or something like that. You might have been thinking about it. There's a lot of that going on, and now it's when it's retrograde, it's actually time to execute a lot of things, and not necessarily do a new thing. It's to execute a thought that has been going since it's been in retrograde, and for me, it's to write some letters. And I have to get away from this thing about how that I don't really care for the. I've been going through something deeper than dwelling on society, but there's also a side of me that knows that it's like, you know what, you gotta say something because who else is gonna say something? And I think some people are, and it's important that we should get together. Other than just have this other side where I like I said in my one video, I don't know if I was gonna post it or not. Pardon me. Oh, it's like 12 now. I need to get to sleep. But I was just going to close this up talking about, well, just as well as that there's cliques and gangs. Really, it's just accidentally they're just ganging up on the less fortunate. Is just that's the weakest. If I can talk about less fortunate, man, it's hard to tell who's who right there. That's just not the way you live. I'm sorry. God, God have mercy. I think it's just terrible. They don't have a good look on the big picture, and they don't even consider the real big picture, the big real picture anyway. Thanks for listening. I'm very tired, and yeah, the cliques and gangs that are there, but as well as that, we should have a better organization. They're just the opposites. It says no, yeah, support group. Oh, they chase you around again for standing in front of a tree and saying don't chop it down and how dare you, and you got emotional like a human being, and they chased you around for that, huh? Well, welcome to our support group. As the human faction, the organic occupation, who's like, man, I don't want to drink chlorine and sulfuric acid in the water. I don't want to deal with this shit that's in the sky currently falling down and how the plant's gonna look. Look at them. A lot of my fucking plants died last year after all of that snowing. It's the ground cover, the vinca. It's like, well, why did this croak? I don't think it was me cutting at it. It might have been, but no. Something got to them. And if anybody else is paying attention who's like me, you just talk about it, you mention it. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I saw it, yeah. And things are shrinking down and dying. the town trees, the trees in town, if you look around, if you blink your eyes and look around again, it's massive die off. I say all the trees will be gone in 20 years, but really in 5 years, this is where it's like, I gotta get out of here. It was fun, it was nice, but, and not everybody gets to live their childhood dream. You know, really, I see a tsunami coming and I'm getting out of here.